this morning in our Missing series, a California man is desperate to find the love of his life, hoping that his baby boy will have his mom home for Christmas. It has been nearly a year since Zoe Penrod left her home in Northern California, confused and paranoid in the midst of a mental health crisis. The then 39-year-old mom left behind a fiancé, an infant son, and dreams of a future that have now vanished. Her fiancé, David, has been looking for her while trying to raise their now one-year-old son alone.
December 31st, 2023. It was supposed to be the brink of a new year and new possibilities, with a new baby boy and a wedding planned for May. But on that New Year's Eve morning, Zoe Penrod walked out of her home in Myers Flat, California, and out of her life as she knew it. She hasn't been seen since.
I don't even know. It's hard to wrap into words all that she was for me.
The weeks leading up to that New Year's Eve morning were rocky. Zoe was acting erratically and was briefly hospitalized, diagnosed with postpartum psychosis.
She wasn't making any sense whatsoever. She just, like I said, she was talking about power marbles, and she was convinced that that there was people listening in on all their conversations.
Zoe had endured a 76-hour labor when she gave birth to her son Daniel in July of last year. She and her fiancé David were so happy with their new son and planned to marry May 4th of this year.
Stop it!
I was gonna be like, see what happens when you get all the rocks on the river bar in one day?
But within 5 months of Daniel's birth, Zoe stopped breastfeeding and began acting erratically, getting into a dust-up with police at a local casino and running out onto a highway overpass to avoid help from family and friends. Zoe was checked into a hospital in Garberville, where she was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis, but there weren't enough beds to keep her, and she was sent home just 3 days later, the doctor telling David that Zoe needed some vitamins, food, and rest.
I was like, so you're telling me a snack and a nap is what you prescribed to her, and now she's okay?
Zoe wasn't okay. Within days of her release, her delusions reappeared and accelerated. In the early morning hours of December 31st, Zoe was up pacing.
She was sprinkling me with that water, saying, bless you, bless you, bless you. But then she started drawing these crosses all over the house, on cabinet doors, on chairs, on the door of the house.
Zoe went outside into the yard. David went out after her to get her to come back inside. But their son Daniel began crying. While David went inside to change Daniel's diaper, Zoe disappeared. David walked the neighborhood but couldn't find her. He reported her missing the next day. Deputies from the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office searched for Zoe on land and by air. She was seen on a surveillance camera at a business in the area wearing a light-colored bathrobe, walking north on the Avenue of the Giants at about 8:30 on the morning she left.
I think that somebody picked her up, and I think that in that state of mind, she would be easily coerced into a car. She's cold, she's hungry, she's been out in the woods for, all night long. It's raining, it's cold, it's miserable. So somebody could have coaxed her into the car pretty easily.
But Zoe wasn't just battling an illness when she went missing. She and David were involved in a lengthy legal dispute with her adopted mother. David said he'd been very troubled by a letter her mother sent her months before she disappeared. They were quarreling over Zoe and her sister Jessie's inheritance of some property of her grandmother's. In the letter, her mother said,
I will spend all my money and also Jessie's to get you removed as a trust beneficiary. And then her next sentence is the one that draws the most interest to me. It says, you will be legally dead, period.
David is haunted by this letter and the fact that it's been almost a year and there are still no answers.
Right now I'm just so upside down with everything in this world because I don't have my other half, and it's killing me every day.
Here is another look at Zoe. Anyone with information about her whereabouts can contact the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office at 707-445-7251. Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.